Hello YouTube, Jonathan800 here. So today I will be playing as Belgium. And not just that, but mostly historical Belgium. So basically, historical Belgium is your government, it turns out to be really corrupt. You get, the government resigns, the new government is still very corrupt. Then you have your, national unity government. And then you do a bunch of focuses that basically make your country go down the toilet a little in political stability. But hey, you'll eventually get, Perlot, and you get taking democracy support and such. Overall, when it comes to the focus tree, I find Belgium's to be pretty LARPy. Like, you have an entire focus tree dedicated going, you chose the fascist guy. But what if he got not overthrown, but kicked out? So, interesting focus tree. So, war starts. Leopold III is kind of going, I might surrender. To be fair, it's a little extreme in the game. He actually did hold out till, Dunkirk. So, maybe if you lose 2 cities. But, either way. The fort line holds. There were a few times I almost got reinforced but it went well. I was losing the air war, but I couldn't really invest much into planes. I just focused on getting men on the field. I also used a lot of Congolese troops. They would be very useful, especially in holding the south. Because, as usual, if Germany can't break up north, they will go through Italy. And usually that actually does work. So, not sure what else to say with this. Yeah, the fighting does boost Congo's autonomy, so I decided to try to get their autonomy down. Turns out really hard to do when they are constantly trying to push it up too. I have even gotten to pulling their troops from the front line and such. But I eventually do find some pretty decent ones that drop it by 250 instead of 100, and I've eventually managed to do Overseas Department of Belgium, because you can't do any of those focuses if they're a colony. You have to do it, before or after, and the Dominion gives you less stuff. Here's my tank division. It is quite something. You could have seen my tank division at the top left there. These are mobile bunkers. They could have been SPGs, but honestly, there's really no need for SPGs in single player, because I usually use medium cannons. I just decided to go bunker bust, mobile bunker with these, and it worked quite well. So, the average Space Marine template, I believe, is an SPAA that is heavily armored 4 kilometers per hour, stuff like that. No, you really don't need them. If you want a good offensive division, you could actually just use special forces. The thing is, I could have used my mountaineers. They eventually became 20 widths. I could have done it more. They could be like 24, something like that. But the special forces caps was just not in my favor the entire game, so I decided to make these mobile bunkers quite late, actually, so that's why I have barely any. But they do provide a pretty good push. The casualties for this war, by the way, are France #1 because they actually bashed into Germany. They surprisingly didn't take that many casualties. It's like, I think they took a total of 300,000 the entire war. I took about that much too, but I got like 30+% of the war participation, so I was the true MVP ally. But the French, they did help me hold, to be fair. Gotta admit that. They just, they eventually did bash their heads into front line, doing not much and taking away my first place that I held for like a solid, was it 4 months? I think a year or whatever. Let's say it's a year so I look better than I actually am, probably. But either way, it was Belgium troops that broke the stalemate with their heavy infantry divisions. I just couldn't afford the trucks. I only had like one factory on trucks the entire game, and I was using them for supply. To be fair, I actually probably could have. I just chose not to. I wanted to meme a little with these chonky infantry. I think I eventually get like 6 or 8 of these guys out. They were actually surprisingly cheap. They're not the most cheap, but for the amount of soft attack you got, it was pretty cheap. So I eventually liberate the Netherlands. Hip hooray! Actually, oh yeah, I was wondering what that capital was. But yeah, we took out the Dutch collaborators. Many casualties. Note, the Soviets never joined the war. The Germans are smart enough to not open up a two-front war. So, good job, AI. You are smarter than you are sometimes. So, that random long string, that was actually the AI. They did their force concentration thing and just kept pushing, and the Germans were just too weak to do anything about it. So, the German front line basically collapsed here. I eventually collapsed them another time after this, but I don't show it because there's really no need. I just show you the cleanup of the breakthrough to the south. So Munich would be eventually taken, all of that. Now, I'm just going to do this one thing. So, how would I rate the Belgian focus tree over just with the DLC? It's actually not bad. I kind of like the interplay between, what is it? I don't know, crossplay? I don't know. Between the Belgian Congo and it. Actually quite useful. Also, here goes Berlin. So it's much better than generic focus tree Belgium. The states, the fun thing is, if you haven't watched the original Belgium video, you should, because you could actually have control of 0 states while owning Brussels. Quite funny. But either way, here it goes. The Axis capitulates. GG easy. I don't bother dealing with Japan. The Americans already had naval landing there. So either way, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. You know the deal. And this is Jonathan 800 signing out.